Joy's New Year's resolution, and now that she has disclosed it to America, is more discipline. Mine is more patience and just do stuff. But I thought when we look around college football and the NFL, some what I believe should be New Year's resolutions for a lot of the stars of college football and pro football. And we both love both. It's good for us. USC has a new coach. Miami's got a new coach. Joy and I have never been happier together.
I cannot wait.
I'm the same
Cannot
thing.
wait.
I'm following recruiting all day on my phone.
And my nephew's at LSU now.
Boom.
We're going to have a great college football season.
So here we go. New Year's resolutions.
All right. What should Aaron Rodgers' resolution be for 2022?
Stop talking. Stay with the Packers, regardless of how the season ends. Okay, can we stop this? He leads the NFL the last 2 years in completion percentage, touchdown passes, touchdown interception ratio, and passer rating. Let's stop all the victimhood. You've got it really good. Yes, there's not much of a nightlife, but let's be honest. You head to Malibu the minute the season's over, and do you really want nightlife and distractions while you play? This is a great place for you. Just stay in Green Bay, even if you're one and done in the playoffs.
What should Russell Wilson's resolution be?
Learn French once he moves to New Orleans. It is one of the 4 teams that he mentioned. CR is an entertainer.
Yes.
They don't have a first-round pick, and they need multiple first-round picks. They don't have the offensive firepower. They don't have a number 1 receiver. Do not believe DK Metcalf is that. Nothing resembling a top back. O-line, their best O-lineman is Dwayne Brown. He ranks as the 27th best left tackle from Pro Football Focus. They're okay at tight end, not dynamic. Look around his division. He's going up against Cooper Kupps and Sean McVays and great O-lines and great running games and George Kittle and DeAndre Hopkins and James Conner. And you're outmanned, a 70-year-old defensive coach, no first-round picks, and the Saints defense is top 4. And if you have 4 quarterbacks, you don't have 1. That's the move. Get your kingmaker in Sean Payton.
Pittsburgh Steelers resolution for 2022.
I believe they have to go out aggressively and get a current NFL star quarterback. First of all, your division now, Lamar's a star, Burrow's a star, and Baker is clearly competent, certainly against the Steelers. You have an excellent young base. They need guidance. Najee Harris is a great young player. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, a rookie tight end who's great. Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt. There's young, great talent here. You can spend some money on a quarterback. You don't need to save money at quarterback. You have a young group. You don't want to get too young. You want to have some experience. I would go heavy after Aaron, heavy after Russell. I would consider strongly Deshaun Watson. This team is kind of young and cheap in a lot of key spots. Even the O-line's got 2 rookies. Go spend some money and get a big boy quarterback.
The Lakers and LeBron, resolution for 2022?
This will sound weird, Joy, but I would consider moving off Anthony Davis. Okay, LeBron now leads the NBA in minutes and scoring. This is ridiculous. 2 years ago, LeBron wanted to pass the minutes baton to Anthony Davis. He came in out of shape. And now this year he's hurt. And he's increasingly hurt more than he's ever been. All this talk about Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook hasn't been disappointing with the Lakers. He's given you everything he's always given you. You have 13 years of data. Hustles, production, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 7.5 assists. That's exactly what Russell Westbrook's always done. And he plays every night, and he plays hard every night. Anthony Davis has missed 55 of 200 games with the Lakers. And by the way, he's still out for a couple of weeks. He doesn't want to play his position. He doesn't put the time in the weight room. He doesn't have leadership DNA. I think the Lakers have to strongly consider redoing all of it if they want to get into a championship window, and all of it starts with Anthony Davis because we're not moving LeBron. And stop blaming Westbrook for your problems. He's exactly what he's always been.
He's always been this way. The Cowboys' resolution for next year.
Don't overreact. If you win a playoff game and that's it. It's baby steps. Last year, Mike McCarthy wins 6. This year, they win the division and a playoff game. The NFC at the top is Tom Brady and Sean McVay and Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers. You have an incredibly young roster. Many of your best players. CeeDee Lamb is a kid. Tony Pollard is a kid. Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, your top defensive interior lineman from UCLA. Don't get impatient. This is not Tampa, where Tom is old. You've got veterans on the defensive side that have been paid. There's pressure. Bruce Arians could retire at any moment. This is just step 2. Jerry Jones historically is patient with his coaches. He's not running off anybody. This year was the year to solve the defensive side of the ball. You have, and oh, by the way, the offensive line, you got to find a left tackle because Tyron Smith continues to have health issues, but it does rank number 1. So this is a good team. I don't think it's a Super Bowl winning team. Don't blow anything up if you don't win 3 and 4 playoff games. The future, Dak and Pollard and CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons and young tight ends and Trayvon Diggs is very bright.
They should have your resolution. Be patient. What about the Browns?
I actually think it is time to move off Baker, and he does have some trade value. I think he got death threats this week. It's too toxic for him. It's too turbulent. He's only a $19 million player. There are 8 teams in this league that are desperate for a quarterback, and Baker, does he deserve a restart or a reboot? I think he does. I think it's too toxic. The fans have now turned on him. The media is incredibly harsh, harsher than I am on him. The Cleveland media now is just, he's a piñata. I also think privately, Stefanski, they would like to bring down the temperature in the room. So I think it's a great time for a clean break. I think Baker could work in a lot of different places, a little less toxic, hopefully humbled a little bit. This organization doesn't trust him. They've put reins on him. The quarterback coach, Van Pelt, acknowledged as much yesterday, saying, we've kind of put handcuffs on him. Why? They don't trust him. I think it's time for a reboot for Cleveland and Baker. It's not a criticism. Drew Brees had a reboot. Brady wanted one late in his career. There's nothing wrong starting over.
How about Lincoln Riley, his resolution for 2022 in his first year at USC?
Just be interesting. This team hasn't won. They've won 1 Pac-12 title since Pete Carroll left, but they've been boring. They're inconsistent. There's chaos, but more than anything, they're just not fun. They were fun briefly with Sam Darnold. They beat Texas and Penn State in the Rose Bowl. Here's a coach that averaged 43 points a game. It's not about winning a national title. They do not have the offensive line personnel right now to compete against an Ohio State, a Notre Dame, or any top SEC team or in Oklahoma. They don't. Oklahoma right now has better players. They do not have the defensive line depth or personnel to play with the big boys. They're not a top 6 team right now. Use the transfer portal. You've got some nice offensive pieces. Jackson Dart's an excellent young quarterback. Nice receivers, tight ends, and backs. Get fun again. Be fun. Score 45 points. You don't need to win a national title. You don't need to win a Rose Bowl. Get interesting in a market now. When Pete was here, no NFL teams, and the Clippers were unwatchable, and the Dodgers were just good. The market is distracted. You need to get fun and interesting. If you go 9-3, but you're scoring 44, that is a win in year 1. You are not built to win big next year.
How about Brian Kelly at LSU?
Brian Kelly has become the FBS head coach since 2004. Only Nick Saban has more wins. You're a great coach. It's a great program. Now, since winning the title, you're 11-11. So in the SEC, you're winning games. You're not terrible, but you got to get the quarterback situation more productive. You got to keep the recruiting ball rolling. But there's no reason to not be totally authentic probably here because your record is next to Saban is the best in college football. So we all know you're a great coach. We all know you do a terrible Southern accent. If you're going to do that, do it in a home, not on television, not where we can use our iPhone and watch it. But those are my New Year's resolutions. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.